I'd click that camera on in case anyone was interested about Apoxy Sculpt, working with it, and you haven't done it. Save your money for now and let me show you what it does, and if you like it, then go buy it, because it's like $34 for a little tiny set in a tub. So, but I'm thinking if you're interested in sculpting at all, you want durable pieces, you don't want to have to bake it, you want to be able to drill, sand, and paint it, or leave it naked and set it outside once it's cured, you can. So if you're interested in that, you'll probably be interested in Apoxy Sculpt. Like I said, it's an epoxy product, okay? So you do want to wear gloves when you begin the mixing process. I looked, it didn't say you had to wear the PPE, whatever it's called, you know, and that's good, because I don't, but I do hold it away from me because it is odorous in the beginning. Not killer odorous, but, you know, like epoxy. You know you're working with epoxy. So you basically get equal parts-ish, and then you mush them together. And at that point, the chemicals, just like your equal parts in your resin that you love so much, just like then, they start blending and having a chemical reaction. And you see it had two different colors. They gave you a kind of a poopy green look and then a white. I ordered white, so it should in the end turn white. And when you're done kneading it, you'll know, because all of the variation of color will be gone and it will be the color you ordered. I thought they came in black, tan, and white. I was wrong. They come in a gazillion colors. I've just never seen it. But apparently if you go to their website, there's pinks and blacks and browns and everything. So that's interesting to know. But you also can paint it afterwards. So I'm not sure. I don't know about that. I don't care. So I'm just, and like I said before in other videos, if you guys want to learn more about this, I have just certain Apoxy Sculpt working things on my YouTube channel. That is Cape Charles Art. Cape Charles Art. And I appreciate your subscription, because I really think I can give you something. I'm not asking for something and not giving anything back. I wouldn't do that. Anyway, go check it out. But what I say is, like, I'm 62 years old. That's right. Thank God for filters, y'all. This would be like Crypt Keeper if that sucker slid over. Anyway, so I am learning to work with this product as well, and I'm learning the tech stuff on the YouTube and stuff. I mean, it's a lot. And what's interesting is my YouTube followers, they range from 13, well, there is a few older like me, but mostly it's like from, there's a small group of 13 to 18, but then there's all like 20 to 40, a big group. So I was like, well, that's quite a range. So I was happy about that. It's interesting to learn all those things. And I used to not like tech at all, which is funny because I'm married to a tech brain. So, you know, we compliment each other. Oh, Blue, you are such a beautiful person. You guys, if you don't follow Blue, follow her. She is intuitive in her art, and she just goes with the flow, and I love it. And you never know what you're going to find when you pop into her live. Marissa, Pixie Girl. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're here. Hey, did you see what I did to your box? I ghosted it, sweetie. My granddaughter. But I'm still going to plan on putting butterflies, white butterflies on it. What do you think? And some of us are 70. That's right, Sherry Carr. Some of us are. But I know you, and you're like 35, 70. You're not. Thank you. Shannon. Oh, you guys, you're sick and you're here. 56. Yay, Tony. Gorgeous. I love it. Oh, I'm so glad, Pixie. I'm so glad, because I'm like, here, I need a box. I just grabbed yours. Oh, that's so great. Okay, so see, it's all white and there's no other different colors. So what I was trying to say about being 62 is I have a little owies in my hands at times, especially rainy and stuff. So I've noticed that to do the kneading in the very beginning part when you're mixing the colors together is difficult on those days. So if you have arthritis or anything like that, get someone else to do it for you. I was gonna say, don't get it, but you do want to get it, because if you can play with Play-Doh, once it's kneaded, pretty much that's it. It's just like Play-Doh, but better, much better. Okay, so I've learned that the Apoxy Sculpt is a little pricey for me, so you can just wrap it around foil and make it much cheaper and much lighter, because the stuff is heavy. And I think I'll shut this off. If you notice, when I set this here, if I let it go, it will roll that way. So it's like super heavy. And not only is it super heavy this way, but when you look at it, you all, don't you just kind of, you know, lean with the weight of it? So I need a balance, is what I'm trying to say. The lights, once they get in here and over here, that's going to help brighten it up. That's going to be a balance. But I'm thinking of a moon somewhere, because I can't put enough crap on this. What else? Mushrooms? Yes, I am. Good stuff. And I just set it aside for, I think it said 5 minutes, 2 minutes, a few minutes. And it kind of just, now that I've got my gloves off, I'm going to fix this a little bit, y'all, because it's not staying. And you do not want Apoxy Sculpt in your hair. It will be, you are cutting it. So that's fine. It's not like that's never happened before, right? All right, so it's been a few minutes. I'm wondering if I can just stick some Apoxy Sculpt down and see, I want to cover these wires. I don't know where my other painting is like this. Let me show you. So you can see it. So that is the inside, the nightlight of this one, the Fairy Forest nightlight. That's as bright as it gets. So it's not going to like keep someone awake, basically. So that's kind of nice. But they are all inside under resin. If I can do it. Little pockets, secret pockets in the trunk for your battery pack. God, I love being a kid. I don't care how old I get. I'm still playing. That didn't matter because I had a lot of stuff running. It was really a creepy forest. So, but this one I want a little bit more open and breathy, you know. So, oh, thanks, Bluebird. Sculpt is good to go. You definitely don't want to put it down on anything that you don't want it to stick to permanently, because it will. But that's the blessing of the Apoxy Sculpt. So let's just go with that. And I'm going to take a little piece. And the first thing I want to do that is kind of bothering me is these wires up that are coming around this tree branch. So I'm going to flip this light on. I think it's easier if you're doing a nightlight painting of any sort just to work with the lights on. But at first it's like, hurry, because you don't want to waste the battery or whatever. But it is replaceable. I just always would hate for the lights to go out before I can get it finished. It's possible. I'll tell you what. I'm going to just put it right there. Kind of weird, like. It doesn't have to stick close to the wall just because it hangs on it. I mean, look, the guys hang antlers and heads of beings up on their walls. Not my guy. He's a vegetarian. I love him. And now I'm a vegetarian. Actually, we're pescatarians because we like fish. We live in Virginia Beach. We're going to eat shrimp and stuff, y'all. Tuna. All right. See, like right now, it's not hardly sticky to me at all, and it's really, you're able to work with it. So let me just finish taping this wire to this before it dries out on me. Taping. Sculpting. Just the process. Correct. Thank you. And I'm using that music that I get flagged on because they said I could go ahead and use it, but it still says copyright. You know, they do that to you when you post on YouTube if you've used something like that, which I understand totally. You get it. I've got a brother who's a musician, but when I went to my YouTube studio to find out what to do about it, they just said, don't worry about it. They said it was allowed. They just wanted it tagged. So I was like, well, that's odd. Thanks. Oh, so much to learn, you guys. It's just got a little over a day, shocking. But I just kind of centered myself again on, okay, what was my purpose? What am I doing here? You know, TikTok, YouTube, all that. And really my purpose is to encourage other people to get in touch with their inner child and to use art to heal, to play, to share good times with people, get together and do art together. I mean, use it for a benefit for you. So that's what my mission is to set out, because I believe we're all creators. We are. And there's just, you haven't, if you don't think so, it's probably because you haven't found what really trips your trigger yet. And baby, when you do, there's going to be no stopping you. I can promise you that. You're going to be so in love with whatever it is you find, that thing in there that you were meant to bring out to the world. You're going to be in love with that, and you're going to be so excited. That happens, and it happens a lot. Periodically, just be aware in your art journey. Just let yourself keep growing. Don't stop yourself. It gets scary sometimes, but it's so fun. It's a scary fun. Kind of like being in the army. That was fun. It was scary, huh, Shannon? Hubby was Navy. I was Army. Shannon was Army. My son, a Marine. That was crazy. Crazy fun. This one's going to have a branch. Hey, thank you for your service. Oh, shoot. I bet there's a ton of people in here that I should be thanking for their service. Thank you. You know, it is true. You sign on that dotted line. Whether you are going into war or not, you don't know. It's, you know, so it's like, sure, I'll do it. Tell you though, I learned a lot in the military. It was good for me. It was really good for me in a lot of ways. But I did enjoy the fact that I got to serve some time and give back. You are so sweet. I keep dipping my hands in that water because it's just, that Apoxy Sculpt will dry you out so fast, it's shocking. Okay, so here we are. We have more stuff on it, patches. So now all of my line work and bark lines that I put in there are missing on those areas, so I'll have to put that back in. But it's coming along, both of those. Okay, so now we're down into the meat and potatoes of the piece, down into the painting. This is where the resin is going to go, and it's going to cover up those lights. So I just want to go make a few tiny little branches that can hide those wires just a little bit, to get them out of the way. I just don't want that to be the first thing people see. Hopefully, they will be mesmerized by other stuff. Or at least distracted. Maybe not mesmerized. Hey, I can dream. Okay. It's not great. It's a start. And that's the truth, huh? When you start doing art, I think that's why people quit so fast, is like, oh gosh, I can't do this. They don't give themselves enough time. And I just have to say, if you've ever done nail polish, remember helping your grandkids or kids doing nail polish and they wanted to do it by themselves? And you knew it was gonna get all over the place, and you were like, okay, go ahead, and your hands are like this, right? But you have to let them do it, and then they eventually do it, and then pretty soon they do their own manicure in 5 minutes, and it's beautiful, and you're like, wow, pretty impressive, you know? Art is the same. Why would we think different? Like we're gonna sit down and just poof, come up with something? Come on. I mean, maybe it doesn't happen like that for me. I have to actually practice. Sports is the same. It's actually practice. There's a lot of that. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't a vein of artsiness in families. For sure there is. Generationals. And I love that. But at the same time, anyone can do this because we're all made to create. Just want one thicker. Kind of attach it up here a little bit. If I keep going with this branch sherry, it won't be unbalanced anymore. Just keep going around. Look. It's getting better. I like those little branches. That's what it was. It's just that I don't have any little branches. And it just looks so weird, I'm thinking. Aren't they fun? Oh my gosh, you guys, you've got to do this. Even, let me get this off for a second. It's like sucking the life out of me. Where's my, I have a little, you want me to finish a sentence? Sorry, had too much coffee. So it comes like that. Most people paint on that side. Not here. Not in our tribe. We turn that puppy around. We're going to fill it with resin. So anyway, grab a cradle board because, and some fairy lights. You know, I got a whole bunch. Where are they? Here they are. Like 12 for super cheap Amazon. And those are the colored ones though, but I really want to get some white ones. But now that whole thing, this with the fairy lights, then you do a pour and then just fill it with resin. Even if you didn't want to epoxy sculpt the whole thing, just paint around it. Or hey, put some dried flowers under resin on it. That would be beautiful, fairy-ish kind of, whatever. Anyway, so fun, such a fun project. And what child or even adult wouldn't want something that lights up? And you know the best part about all of this is that someone will walk in. Now, I can guarantee this is going to happen. They're going to walk in when this is all done, and they're going to say, ooh, cool. And somebody gets to go over and pull this little thing out of the roots and flip the lights on, and they're going to gasp. I live for those gasps. I do. I do. I love it. Because, you know, that's when you know, yay, goals achieved. Work that way. You see things through such creative eyes. Your brain does work that way because I pick your brain. You're always giving me ideas. You just don't see it for you, that's all. There you go. That's right, Buffalo. Buffalo's good, y'all. Good people, just so you know. Gratimus, my man, how you doing? I'll get it so I can tell you guys later. But she even said, you know, I'm still, after however many years, I'm still not able to stop myself when I should. And I was like, oh, thank God I'm not the only one. So, but it is disappointing because, you know, you've seen it, you've taken pictures of it as you go, and then pretty soon it's like, whew, that's gone. And then you get another chance, something else cool happens and it comes around, and I don't know, you just keep working on it until you're satisfied. That's how I do it. But I do have to learn to stop myself a little bit better. It was working there for a while when Sherry and I figured out a plan. We'd just go get a cup of coffee and get the heck out of the studio for a while, you know. And that would work for a while. Can't just keep going down. Well, I can with the lights, but that's no fun. All right. There's another tree. It's going to be a little tiny tree. Favorite, so I'm just taking this pokey thing and making roots and bark. I just want it roughed up a little bit. Try and hide that wire in it. It's gonna have one little pink light in that tree. Aw. And maybe if I get this a little wet. Yeah, with the electricity now. Let's shut this off. Is it unsafe? Whatever. Zone. That always means I'm ignoring you. I apologize. But you know, you do it. You know, I love doing these lives because I'm talking to artists and creators, so they get it. I don't have to explain myself. Well, I probably wouldn't anyway. Nonetheless, you get it. So I love this tool. It's just wood. What is that? I don't know. It came from Mom. It was in her collection of brushes. So that's cool. I think I just covered up my light. Nope, I got it. All right. Whoosh, hot. All right. Here we go. Last few lights. So, anybody got plans for this weekend? Oh. Yeah, long. It was longer. Well, I accidentally cut some off. Okay. Still making this branch now because lights, wires. I don't want to cover up that watery looking thing I have going there in the tree like that. Okay, that tree goes this way with his little roots. Do you ever talk to your stuff? I know you do. When you're painting or you're creating something, you're like talking to it. This is why creators are so fun to hang out with, because we're just weird like that, and we don't care. That's when you realize the weirdness is meant to be there, because you have to be able to give yourself room to think creatively without always stopping yourself going, that's not going to work. That's what I used to do. That's not going to work. That can't work. That's not. I'm like, gosh, talk about being your own enemy. It's much better to think positive. Okay, now, admittedly, it probably is very scary to look at that and think, why did she just do that? Because I had to. I have to get rid of the wires. It's a thing. So that's okay, because I will shape that into a tree again, and it'll be dark and mysterious on that though. And because I'm going to put resin in it, but it's got fairy lights in it, I don't want to torch the heck out of it either. This is going to be interesting because it's totally new to me. Even though I've done a couple of these so far, it still feels brand new. I'm just trying to make some weird shapes in this tree bark. I want a light. I want somebody living in that tree. I just don't know if I can get it in there now. Roll it over. Setting up already. Ah, there it goes. Even if it's just right by the doorway of the tree, so it looks like a little porch light for a fairy tree, wouldn't that be cool? Aww. And two things, guys. Praying for Sherry and Shannon, please, for the health. They're sick. And also, you've probably seen the one who lost her child through a fatal seizure. Just please lift her up, because, you know, when you've been broken, it takes the world sometimes to stand in the gap and to lift you up, you know. And so that's what I'm asking for today, is that family, because they really need your support and your prayers. So she'll feel it. I know she will, the mama. So thank you for that. And you guys have a beautiful weekend. Love and light. Bye.